G'day everybody, this is Johnny Seville from Acorn Wealth Corp here, coming to you from Belém, Portugal today. Of course, the market's just about to open, so I wanted to give you a quick update on what we saw happen last week and what to be looking for here today. Obviously, the S&P 500 is set to open higher. We are looking. Early signs are bullish this morning as we start to break through some of the resistance on the S&P 500. But some key things to note, we do have Mario Draghi expected to potentially cut interest rates from the ECB this week. A lot of the market, especially the European markets, are looking towards that. The concerns about the rate cutting is that as interest rates continue to be cut, firstly, if the ECB does do that this week, what do they have left up their sleeves? Of course, with concerns that Germany is on the brink of recession and so forth, if they play that quantitative easing card now, they won't have anything left up their sleeve. The other concern, of course, is that as interest rates get cut, that the margins that banks can make becomes thinner. And if the banks aren't making money, it's not great for the financial system. And of course, then when the margins are so thin, banks can then become more selective as to who they give those loans to, which can potentially lead to credit tightening. So again, it's why we're concerned about this market and why we're obviously looking towards smart money plays to make sure that we're finding trades with extra edge and also preparing for what happens if and when we get a downturn. Now, another thing to point out that I noticed on Friday was that on high yield bonds. Now, high yield bonds are the risk on trade. So when smart money believes the economy is healthy, they will buy high yield bonds because it's considered junk debt, high yield debt that they'll go in and load up on. Now, if there is fear of the economy going down, they'll get out of those or short them. Now, the high yield bonds are currently quite heavily shorted, with a report from S3 Partners 2 weeks ago suggesting that as much as 30% of high yield bonds are currently short. Now, on Friday, we saw that argument pretty much confirmed. We saw on Friday, 60,000 puts were bought on Friday on high yield bonds between the strike price of 81 and 87. These are October puts. So that's a short time frame, which creates a total open interest, so the amount of contracts that are outstanding there of 300,000 puts on high yield bonds. Now, compared to the calls, which are only 46,000, so that's quite a difference. Now, so that's just one thing to also be aware of as we go into October, and that's kind of why we're being so cautious. I should say optimistically cautious about what the market's going to be doing. Now, in terms of the market action, again, we're locked and ready. We've got our stop losses, we've got our targets. So I mean, at this point, it's just a matter of letting the strategy play out. That's the beautiful thing about set and forget trading. But in terms of a few updates on the short side, FOXF has maintained its bearish direction and continued to drop, which is fantastic. It was down another 3.14% on Friday. AIRG is still dropping. That was down 0.27%. On the long side, of course, we've had some great action. We had the bullish open range happen last week, so we responded. We followed our rules and we went long. We had CRK, which is already up beautifully. That's up 9.44% overall from $7.14 to $8.23 over those last 2 days of last week. We've got LCI, which we talked about in Trading Room on Thursday, and that was up 15% on Friday, which, in case you took that one. I'm not in that one myself. I got scared off because of the riffraff in the StockTwit forum. I probably shouldn't have listened to it. I mean, I mentioned that in Trading Room. I probably shouldn't have listened to it. Probably should have taken a trade. Talked about it on Thursday, up 15% Friday. BGG up another 3%, which is a total of 16% since it broke the moving average. Beautiful fallen angel setup. HIMX, which we already took profit on, that might be gearing up again. So if you're going to be watching the market this morning, HIMX, if it breaks above $2.19, could be another flag formation patterns trade. Also 10 TEN, which we're long. That's a beautiful 7% rally on Friday from our $10 entry price we issued on Thursday evening. We had Club, which was up 3%, and we've also had SLDB, which is Sierra Lima Delta Bravo, which was also up 7% on Friday. So, that's the beautiful thing, when you start to combine highly profitable and highly probable patterns, which is why we call our patterns course patterns and probabilities, and you combine that with smart money. That's where you can get those really, really powerful moves. So again, we'll be watching the market today, and happy trading. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you all very soon. Cheers.